Hey guys, quick note on quarter panel replacement. So when they give you a quarter panel or a quarter skin, it's usually got a lip on it that runs down here. I found from experience best thing to do is cut that off for a couple different reasons. There's nothing wrong with that lip, and you know, it's factory. Usually they make them too big and you got to cut them down and whatever else. So behind this there's a lip that runs all the way down. It's about 1/4 of an inch thick. If you cut this right, you can sink this right into that and it'll sit level on top of it. So what you do is you cut your quarter down. I still have a bit of cutting to do here. And then you draw a line across here. Now what I've done is I've decided to do this in between these two body lines. This is the smallest portion of the entire skin, and I hate body work. I mean, I hate it. So what I'm going to attempt to do is I'm going to cut the majority of the panel, the original panel that's behind this. I'm only going to leave a little strip here. I'm going to cut all this down, all the way down to here. And what's going to happen is, as I start cutting into this, this panel is actually going to sink in to the existing one. And as I go, I'm going to spot weld it as I cut. Every couple of inches, whatever, every 3 inches or so, all the way down. You want to try and keep the heat to a minimum. And what's going to happen is there's going to be a strip left as I cut, and that's going to fall in inside the car. So what you got to do is you got to cut a little tiny bit off that strip on each end, especially this end here. Because you can't get behind it in here. You don't want that piece of steel to get trapped. You want to be able to pull that out. So keep your heat on low for this part and for this part here. What I do is I'll turn my heat up for the spot welds that I'm going to be making along the bottom here. Make sure this panel is clamped into place real good when you start, because you don't want it moving on you. Now in my case, I've got to remake the outer wheelhouse simply because I'm not going to wait for the part to show up. I don't want to turn this into too much of a career. So if it's quicker for me to rebuild it, that's what I'll do, and that's what I had to do on the other side. But anyway, the end result, if you do it this way, it should turn out like that. So where did I cut that line? And there's the old piece that'll fall inside. It blends in all right. But yeah, I thought I'd make a quick video of this before I indulge in the other side. Next video you see, this thing will be running and drivable, hopefully. Anyway, thought I'd save you some time if you're putting quarter panels on, and a lot of grief. I find this method works the best.